Welcome to the 2025 SEC Tournament on the SEC Network, presented by Allstate. We're coming to you from the beach, Ashton Brosnaham Soccer Complex nearby for the final that just means more. Only 2 of 12 survived to Championship Sunday. 3 arduous months to arrive with a chance at the trophy. LSU takes the Tiger Walk, 2018 champions, lowest seed to reach the final in 5 years. That's when Vanderbilt won their last title. Today they arrive a confident 2 seed, winners of 8 straight. Sydney Watts and the Doors anchoring themselves among the SEC elite. Vanderbilt a win over Georgia in the semifinal, handily so, 2-0, while LSU took out Mississippi State, who themselves took out regular season champion Arkansas in the quarters. Welcome in, everybody, alongside the former U.S. national team goalkeeper Jill Lloyd and Mike Watts on hand, and here we go with the 2 hottest teams in the SEC. So much so, Jill, I don't think we know who's going to win this thing.
Mike, there's no clear-cut favorite, and I'm torn because these teams dominate in 2 different ways. LSU can be an entertaining spectacle to watch in transition. There's something to say about a pass or a shot that you don't see coming. But for Vanderbilt, it's death by 1,000 passes. They have distinct passing networks. It's about function, not flair, and they look to work the ball into the penalty area through that possession.
Well, if styles make the fight, we might as well take a look at the tail of the tape between these 2 sides. Over the last 2 games, they have been the best teams in the Southeastern Conference. Nearly identical goal differentials, but remember this, Vanderbilt is a 2 seed, got a bye. They've only played twice. LSU, their 4th game in 8 days. So how does LSU score? Basically, however they want.
Mike, how do you stop this LSU team? They have so many different ways to get to goal. They can score by method, they can score by magic. 10 different goal scorers in this unbeaten run. Elite from dead ball situations, 44% of their goals coming from set pieces. Morgan Witz has been a revelation from deep. They can score in transition, so ferocious off their press and spiteful in transition. And Soraya Bailey has been a bright spot for the Tigers. Not known for her aerial ability, but has a knack for the flair.
Meanwhile, for Vanderbilt, Stafford, Pence, Watts, the most fearsome trio maybe in the SEC right now.
Well, the Vanderbilt Commodores dominate in their own way. They want to wear you down with those short passes, but in the end, it's about getting to that optimal assist zone where Watts can use her movement inside the penalty area. Stafford has been a gem on the right side, 8 assists, 7 coming in conference play. But it's also about their press and their repress. 2 goals in transition in the semifinal against Georgia. They can do it all.
A little shrug of the shoulders. They look out upon all those who've so desperately supported them over the years. The trophy that they hope they can hoist again. LSU last in 2018. Vanderbilt most recently in 2020. Someone leaves Pensacola with that prize. Lineups and kickoff when we return.
Steamer.
They fly from Naval Air Station Pensacola. The Blue Angels, the U.S. Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron, formed in 1946 and awing crowds across America ever since. Just one look out on the beach, and you may see something spectacular under blue skies in Pensacola, Florida. Home to the 2025 SEC Soccer Tournament. It's Championship Sunday. Take a look at the starting lineup for Sean Hudson. A rarity. Jillian, they are unchanged.
Unchanged, but a little tactical nuance. Ava Amston's going to start a little bit higher next to Ida Hermansdottir. They're going to look to cut off possession and supply to Vanderbilt's pivot. If the press is broken, though, the fullbacks of Cheeseman, Major, they're going to have their hands full defending the overloads, but it's all about transition today, getting the ball to those 4 playmakers up top. 17 of 26 goals from those 4 players in the unbeaten run.
Sean Hudson took over the program in 2020. She told me at the time it was time for a new challenge. Nothing bigger than LSU, the SEC. I want to build a soccer culture here. A chance to win an SEC title today. Conversely, Vanderbilt also unchanged. They've been brilliant.
The success of Vanderbilt's attack really stands on the quality of their structure behind the ball. That's 3 center backs in the McLaughlins as well as Matula. Ali Bolig has to stay connected to the back line to reduce LSU's threat in transition. Jones, Teeter, they like to link play in central spaces to create space out wide for Olivia Stafford. Anytime Sydney Watts is on your screen, watch her.
Darren Ambrose, 11th season at the helm, won the regular season title in 2018 and then the tournament championship in 2020. Leading the huddle, this Vanderbilt Commodore team, such a closely knit group. Sydney Watts on the outskirts, not on the outskirts of the scoring charts. Her boots are golden. We spoke to her just a few days ago. She said last year we were bounced in the first round of this tournament. Such disappointment. 2 years ago, they weren't even in the SEC tournament, left out on the final day. Darren Ambrose said at the time that 2023 misfire lit a fire. They played well, but they didn't handle moments. Vandy between the boxes, but we lacked maturity. Well, they are mature enough, they think, to win a championship today. Conversely, a look inside the LSU huddle and their outstanding goal scorers. For all the goals these teams scored, Jill, it was a 0-0 draw on September 12th in Nashville between these teams. Last time either was shut out. I get the feeling this doesn't necessarily mirror what we saw then as we spoke to coaches.
Mike, 0-0 game earlier this season. This is a revenge game. A revenge game for both of these teams. They feel that they're each in a different place. Vanderbilt's in a different lineup. They had a 4-back against LSU trying to stifle Ava Galligan's opportunities in transition, but each team really well grooved in their identity, and some of their playmakers in red-hot form today.
The stands are packed, as they have been all 4 years in Pensacola for the championship game. Ava Galligan, 5 goals over this 10-game unbeaten run. LSU could argue this is the hottest they've ever been as a program. That 10-game run, the longest such streak in their history. Nita Herman's daughter, Ava Galligan, keying an offensive explosion. LSU ranked for the first time since 2021 in the last poll, number 25. Vandy is number 8 in the nation. An epic SEC championship game in store. It is the number 2 seed Vanderbilt Commodores and the number 5 seed LSU Tigers. You and I have done enough of these games, Jill, where we walk in and we go, I think I know who's going to win. I have no idea today, and that's half the fun.
I genuinely do not know which strategy is going to pay off for either of these teams today. LSU is so good in those transition moments where they can get the ball as quick as possible to their advanced playmakers up the field and bypass Vanderbilt's press. But if Vanderbilt can get into a rhythm, establish a tempo with their possession, it can be really difficult to keep at bay for 90-plus minutes.
Now, Jill, the underlying nature of playing this tournament is no bye for LSU. It's their 4th game in 8 days, 75 degrees, sun overhead. If there's any good news for them, they got 600 minutes from their bench in those first 3 games. Maybe the legs will be a little bit lighter. And talking with Sean Hudson, she said, we're excited. They're bouncing off the walls this morning.
I also think that it provided them a platform to gain a little bit momentum here at the beach. And we saw earlier in this tournament, all number 1, the higher seeds, had really difficult times playing on that first day. Vanderbilt wasn't really happy with the performance, ultimately getting the win over Alabama. But LSU dominant performances over Auburn, and then into this match as well.
Samantha Martinez, our referee, blows the whistle. Set pieces are critical in this game. Very athletic, tall, capable set piece team from LSU.
And it doesn't even have to be near the goal, Mike, because we saw these deep free kicks against Mississippi State, against Auburn. From their own half, they can challenge to score goals. So it's going to be important for Vanderbilt to defend intelligently and legally today.
Nearly half their goals from sets against SEC opponents. That includes free kicks, corner kicks, penalty kicks. Herman Sauter staggers a run, yanks it back. Ferguson chased down by Soraya Bailey. Every time she's on the ball, capable of moments like this. Hits it right at Wadelko. buckle up. Soraya Bailey is worth the price of admission.
I mean, sublime ability off the dribble here. Just uses the pace against Matul. A little back to goal. Chink back, right back across the grain of the defender. Shoots on frame herself. Not really challenging Widelko, but Soraya Bailey so quick in the counter pressure. Can nick possession and turn it into attack in the blink of an eye.
Go back to the end of August, and it was against Wisconsin that she took a transition moment. Galligan had the tap in, but Sean Hudson said, that's the moment I knew that she wasn't going to be special. She already was. A freshman who's managed 14 goal contributions in 21 games this year.
And she will have kept Margot Matul up all night thinking about the prospect of having to defend her off the dribble, because Bailey's opportunities off the dribble, they constantly keep defenders contemplating. Do you step in and try to win possession? Do you drop off? Either way, it's going to be a difficult battle for Margot Matul, the center back for Vanderbilt today.
That's a foul. Goes against Macy Teeter. Second year with the program after transferring in from North Carolina. Witz went down. You called her a revelation, I think, in the pregame. That's about right.
Yeah, she's really starting to find her footing for this LSU team. And the better that Ava Galligan has been, Soraya Bailey, Ida Herman's daughter, it has just created so much more space for Morgan Witz to get higher up the pitch. And she's really grown into the season, especially that really important goal against Mizzou earlier in conference play. That really started this great run of form for her.
Ceballos outwitted by Grace Freeman. Bounced beneath Herman's daughter. That was a bit of a greased pig. Up for Bailey. Amsden. Ceballos. Cheeseman. Ball whipped across. Galligan the target. Not nearly enough on that.
Okay, LSU came to play today, Mike. They are controlling these first 5 minutes of the game, and a good long ball out to Soraya Bailey that Margot Matula wins, but LSU does such a good job as that ball travels across their face to get into second ball structures through Ava Amsden, Gabbi Ceballos, trying to pin Vanderbilt to one side, if not, win possession and go forward again.
Olivere, alongside Ferguson, has made for an awe-inspiring defensive run for this LSU Tiger team. Galligan. Watts front running. Pence trying to whittle her way out.
Well done from Morgan Witz. Great long recovery run to stall Grace Freeman from going forward and allowing the LSU Tigers to get back numbers behind the ball and defensively organized.
Tula, McLaughlin, deservingly all conference again.
Go, 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 go!
Hampton, the intervention on Watts.
And to your point, Mike, Hannah McLaughlin is so important to this Vanderbilt side. She's going to be critical today, especially with LSU bringing their line of confrontation higher up, trying to stifle Vanderbilt's possession. McLaughlin's got to be meticulous in the build-out and be that first phase of attack for Vanderbilt's possession.
Solid slide by Ceballos. Cross field, Stafford the only player out there. Major picks it up. Up the line for Soraya Bailey. Major put under pressure through the legs of Stafford. Commits the foul.
And here's that counter pressure from Vanderbilt that was so successful in their game against Georgia. Olivia Stafford trying to get pressure on Kelsey Major, denied their transitional flow to start. ultimately ends in a foul, but allows Vanderbilt to get back numbers behind the ball.
Bailey nods, Hannah McLaughlin. And that's the thing. If you're Vanderbilt, we talked about rest defense being critical against the transition threat of LSU.
Well, it starts in two different places, Mike, because the center backs have to squeeze up the field and reduce the amount of space that LSU can transition into. But then on the other side, the attackers have to get quick pressure on the ball as soon as it's lost to deny those longer, more direct outlets in transition, because Ava Galligan, Soraya Bailey can open it up.
Here is Bailey, bounce kindly to her. Wits. Goal kick for Sarah Widelko. Injured player back behind the play.
Here we go, White!
And Major being looked at.
Kelsey Major higher up the field, advancing out of that fullback position. Again, trying to get pressure on the ball and sustain LSU's attack. And that's critical that she's back up, because that's going to be an important position here for the LSU Tigers, trying to defend the overloads of Vanderbilt.
Louisiana Player of the Year in 2 sports, cross country and in soccer. St. Mary's Dominican in New Orleans. Stafford able to get by Major in this instance. Amsden with a grab to pull her back. Here's Bullock. They want to shield Bullock right out of this game. So you see Herman's daughter, practically her shadow in midfield right now. Chipped ahead, McLaughlin. Header, flicked on, save! Audi Skibbing! Tremendous goalkeeping for LSU.
And I don't know how much she knew about this one, Mike, but it's a long ball in a central position, a little flick, and Sydney Watts takes the run, makes a willing run into a central position, anticipates this bounce so well, and Skibbing in the right position, stands her ground, doesn't start to cheat or be off-put by the scoring ability of Watts. Fantastic goalkeeping.
Watts both goals in the semifinal win over Georgia, 7 over the last 8 games. The leading SEC scorer in 2025.
And outside the goal that LSU conceded against Auburn and against Mississippi State, that's the first real chance that I feel like they've given up. That Skibbing's had to come up big, keep this LSU Tigers team level here in the first half.
Back to Widelko. Stafford. Major got a piece. Bailey turns. Major. Kelsey Major! The trajectory was right. Didn't quite have enough on it.
And I don't mind it. Kelsey Major is a former attacking player, only moved a little bit deeper to make way for Soraya Bailey, but I like the shots from distance because there's opportunity for slight little deflections, and we know how LSU can be so lethal from those set pieces.
Ava Amsden through the legs of Bailey and gets out. We've got 2 great women's college basketball games coming your way this week on SEC Network. On Wednesday, Kansas City takes on 6th-ranked Oklahoma at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then on Thursday, it's Belmont battling 8th-ranked Tennessee at 7 p.m. Both games are also available on the all-new ESPN app. And you're going to be want to watch SEC Network all winter. 5 of the top 10 to start the season from the SEC. Amsden, overcooked, is going to hit that directly into the wind. As we spoke with Shawn Hudson, she said up to 20-mile-an-hour gusts. It's something we as a team talked about in the lead-up. They are playing into the wind in the first half. They should have it at their back in the second.
And that's going to be important for both goalkeepers to be able to assess that as well, because for Widelko, she's going to want to be as proactive as possible on those services into the area, whether it's coming from flank play, set pieces. The more she can prevent, the better opportunity this Vanderbilt team has to keep LSU quiet.
Matula, McLaughlin, Tana in the middle, and Mary Beth on the left. And there's the two sisters combining. Bolig offers forward. Stafford settles, goes to work. Stafford is gone up the line. Major intervenes. Olivia Stafford is a human highlight reel already as a freshman in wide areas.
And it starts with the movement of Reagan Pence as well as Macy Teeter, creating that overload in midfield. That frees up Bolig to be that circulator of possession. LSU collapse centrally. That leaves space for Stafford down the sides. And when she gets the ball 1v1 isolated, she is so lethal.
Teeter will take the corner. First corner of the game. Leaning header Stafford. Away to Bolig. Trying to slither by Ceballos. Clearance and an injured player inside the penalty area. Means that Samantha Martinez will stop play. That is Stafford.
Jazz Ferguson, elite, exceptional in the air. One of the best center backs from set pieces, both attacking and defensive in either box. Goes up really strong here against Stafford. She's holding her ankle. Maybe she got stepped on.
Darren Ambrose was telling us due to injuries early in the year, they were actually playing Stafford out of position as a center forward. And it wasn't quite clicking, but it's because that wasn't where she was meant to be. They got her into the wide area, and there's going to be some work done in spring in terms of how she manages the ball and maybe best practices in terms of her service. But as a freshman, what we've seen, this front three next year is going to be absolutely terrifying for opposition if they're not already.
Yeah, Stafford's really grown into the season. 7 of her assists have come in conference play. Once she moved out wide, she's really found herself a nice home. And in conference play, assists have been her currency. She sets the table for an easier finish, matches really well with Sydney Watts' finishing ability.
So Stafford helped off. We're pretty well sold out yet again. Average attendance this year, about 1,200 fans arriving at this neutral site. 11-game tournament over the course of 8 days. We'll touch 76 degrees today. It was a little drizzly in the morning. That's all past. It is beach weather in the Florida Panhandle alongside the Gulf today. LSU looking for their second championship. They won it in 2018 in Orange Beach. Vandy won it back-to-back in the mid-90s, and then not again for 25 years. Won it in 2020 in the COVID tournament, the expanded edition. They won 4 games to accomplish that feat, like LSU is attempting to do. That is an extraordinary rarity in this tournament. It's actually the last time a team was able to go the 4-game gauntlet and hoist the trophy at the end. You know, they say the trophy feels a little lighter when you're lifting it having won it. If I played 4 games, I don't know that that's accurate.
I don't know, Mike. We've had a crazy week. I don't know if I can pick it up either.
It also smudges easily, so I left my white gloves at home. I think it's something like the Stanley Cup. You can't touch it till you've won it. Anyways.
Keep your hands to yourself, you filthy animal.
It's that time of year. Out to Herman's daughter. Jones got a piece. Here's Teeter. Pence drops to the ball. LSU recover it. What a spin. Herman's daughter sending Bailey. Widelko came out, got just enough. It ricochets free. Witz couldn't corral it first. Is there room to run in transition here? Pence flicks it outside. That runs too far.
And here's a look back at that last opportunity for LSU. And this is really smart goalkeeping in the end from Medelko, because that is the most difficult ball to measure and be calculated with your decision right on the end of the box. You're not sure if it's going to come inside the penalty area or if you're going to pick it up outside. Astute goalkeeping from Medelko, but good defensive work by Vanderbilt's back line as well.
14 saves against Florida State in the shock upset that got Vanderbilt to their first round of 16 appearance in the NCAA tournament last year. And Medelko's just gotten better. It's been a lot of fun to watch her progression.
She's high impact, high influence, and low drama, Mike. She doesn't make a lot of mistakes where you see her off her line. She's comfortable with the ball at her feet, helps establish possession. She can step up as that third center back if needed. And her leadership is unparalleled to this Vanderbilt Commodores side.
That sounds like a goalkeeper I know. The 2025 SEC Soccer Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Vanderbilt.
That was a perfect time for that promo.
It was. We're going to find out if the good hands exist on both sides of the field. We already know Akyirem is up to it with her feet, made a decent kick save on Sydney Watts about 10 minutes ago. Teeter hits the cross. The hands are good. Skiving, Icelandic international, actually got called up for Iceland's friendlies against the U.S. last year. Floated forward to Soraya Bailey. Brilliant by Witz. Bailey rolls it over Hermansdottir. Teeter in reverse, launched forward. Cheeseman tried to cut it off, forces Vanderbilt into reverse.
Mike, we have to talk about that throw from Skiving all the way in the back. Was able to win off a corner, knows that Vanderbilt's their most vulnerable in those attacking shapes, and launches a 40-yard throw down the field to start LSU's counterattack.
Major. Bolig. Galligan got a piece, not enough. Past the quarter hour in this championship game. The #1 seed Arkansas downed in the quarterfinals by Mississippi State. Last year's regular season champion taking out this year's. LSU got the best of State in the semifinal. A red card at half an hour didn't hurt that cause. Vanderbilt win over a really solid Alabama team, followed by a 2-0 win over 19th ranked Georgia, in which they really didn't sweat very much. And a foul from Amsden. Let's go back to the good goalkeeping.
Well, Mike, this is a heads-up play, because if you win the ball in a corner, you're immediately running to the top of the box. You're looking for some kind of numerical advantage, or Soraya Bailey against any player on Vanderbilt is an advantage for LSU in transition. Heads-up play by Skiving.
Skiving has split time over the course of the year with Sophie Kevorkian. Kevorkian actually started the first game of this tournament against Auburn. That'll run too far for Stafford, who picked up a knock moments ago but did return.
Morgan! Wait, Morgan!
Skiving experience in the Icelandic First Division, a late signee last year in July. Joined the program from Reykjavik University. Pressure billowing. Watts, Teeter, tried to turn Ceballos around. Amsden lost it. Watts picks it up and lashes it outside the frame.
And LSU trying to build out of the back here. Short little passes. It's a ball from Ferguson into Ceballos, and Amsden gets pickpocketed in central positions. Sydney Watts can't quite connect in transition moments, but we've seen it against Vanderbilt earlier this season. Teams get so antsy because they don't have the ball that they want to keep it in short passes, but Vanderbilt's press high up the field can be a very effective tool for them to score from.
And Vandy did score from that pressure, the second goal against Georgia. Galligan into space, goes for goal! sometimes you just have that little inkling that the keeper's off their line.
And it's good little interplay here. Galligan takes a touch forward. McLaughlin is sitting off, providing so much space, just trying to keep play in front of her. Galligan sees a small window. Such a difficult shot. She had to go with power and pace to beat Wodelko, but in the end couldn't get it to fall down underneath the crossbar.
You know, I was talking with Akyirem earlier this year, the Gotham goalkeeper in the NWSL, reigning NWSL goalkeeper of the year, about how high she plays, especially in possession. And other goalkeepers will come to her and say, hey, aren't you worried about getting lobbed? And she goes, it's going to happen to everyone at some point, but it's so critical to how they function. Well, if you're Wodelko, it is really critical to how Vanderbilt functions, but there is that marginal inherent risk.
First of all, you saying you talked to Akyirem is a humble brag, okay?
You were there.
I know, but still. It's important for the goalkeeper to stay vertically connected to their back line, especially when you're having to deal with transitional threats, which is always the vulnerability for Vanderbilt, because they include so many numbers high up into their attack, and then they try to squeeze through their counter pressure. The intuitive outlet becomes behind those center backs, and that's an area Wodelko feels really comfortable to patrol.
By the way, it's a great two-screen day for the women's college soccer fan, because over on ABC, Kansas City and Gotham are in extra time at 1 goal apiece in KC. So fire up that app, get busy.
Mary!
And then the second half of that doubleheader, Portland and San Diego, was arguably the best game on paper coming in to the quarterfinals. Everybody's watching women's soccer.
I'm 2 for 2 in my predictions so far. Orlando ahead winning, Spirit and Pens. We'll see.
I'm not going to name the player from Orlando, but there was a player who said, I saw all the NWSL analysts with all their picks, and none of them picked us. And you said, I just didn't send the email in time, but I did.
I did, yeah.
You did.
There's something about them, Mike.
Turned over to Galligan. Slides by McLaughlin. Galligan slicing back on Mary Beth McLaughlin. Plays it high. Whips. Lofting. And didn't get all of it. Don't miss Tuesday nights, SEC Network men's basketball. It's a doubleheader. First Florida State and third-ranked Florida at 7 Eastern. Then Penny Hardaway and Memphis will be at the Pavilion in Oxford. They'll see Ole Miss at 9. Both games are also available on the all-new ESPN app. Did you know the Gators have the tallest teenager in the world at 7'9" on their roster? Olivier Roux. How would a 7'9" goalkeeper do?
I don't know. The air's different up there.
I've seen enough goalkeepers say exactly that to you.
I feel like their aerial ability would be equal to Jazz Ferguson's aerial ability.
Well, college basketball now has a new tallest player ever. No statistics in his first 2 minutes of game action. But a good reason to tune in for Florida State. All the while, we've got good reasons to tune in here, not the least of which Courtney Jones can put this on a platter.
Ava, drop off. Ava, drop off a little bit. Away.
Jones off the back post. Out of reach. Olivier Roux would have gotten that. What impresses you about Courtney Jones when you watch her play? Everything?
Like, when I sit down at a piano, and when Courtney Jones sits down at a piano, the instrument might be similar, but the way you interpret that instrument, I mean, I'm banging keys. She's playing Beethoven there on the keys. This team is her orchestra, the way that she plays with the ball at her feet in central position, so smooth, so calm, the way that she floats around the field, constantly connecting possession. And she needs to get on the ball more here for Vanderbilt, because they have to probe centrally through some of their best playmakers. I think this midfield, certainly the best in the SEC. Because if they can get LSU to collapse centrally, that's going to afford them more opportunities to get Stafford on the ball in wide channels.
That's a foul from Watts into the back of Kelsey Major. Watts 14 goals this year at a team high 9 last year, the forward of the year in the Southeastern Conference. Twice player of the year in Kansas, 3-time title winner at St. Thomas Aquinas. Flicked on by Galligan. Bailey, Soraya Bailey off of McLaughlin. We are sitting directly behind the LSU fans. Bailey put that ball down and everyone stood up.
Every time the ball gets 10 yards within Soraya Bailey, everybody's at the edge of their seat. Vanderbilt audience is holding their breath. And we haven't even seen the best of her yet in this SEC tournament.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we get 3 more years of it, because I'm here for that too. Corner for the Tigers. Header down and in! It's Ceballos! She's been the Tigers MVP in this remarkable run, with or without the stats. She may have as big a goal as the Tigers have ever scored.
My Gabbi Ceballos is the most criminally underrated player in the SEC. She does a little bit of everything here. It's the commanding run, loses her mark, first to the ball. The way that she just has a willingness to get on the end of service here, and it is as we expected. LSU finding the breakthrough from a well-earned set piece. Gabbi Ceballos, a woman amongst children in the penalty area.
Our heartbeat, she drives us, Sean Hudson says, like a terrier in midfield. She controls games. First 2 games of the tournament, the mission wasn't attacking. The mission was defending and forcing midfields to be entirely out of sorts. And now to get it on the set piece almost feels like a due reward.
And this is why LSU is in this great run of form, and they're so difficult to play against for 90 minutes because we highlighted 4 players in Ava Galligan, Morgan Witz, Ida Hermansdottir, Soraya Bailey, who have accounted for 17 of their last 26 goals in their unbeaten run, and it's Gabbi Ceballos that gives them the go-ahead goal. You put so much attention to the Ava Galligan and the Jazz Ferguson on set pieces, that leaves space for Gabbi Ceballos to take advantage of, and she drew them well. Greatly did.
Junior from San Antonio, played just 1 game in TCU before transferring to LSU. Bailey knocks it forward. LSU have scored the first goal in Sean Hudson's tenure against SEC opponents. This her 6th year, 25 times. They've lost just 1. If there's one thing about Vanderbilt, they are so measured, they're so process-oriented. I don't think this is going to cause them to stagger, lest we forget. They allowed 0 goals in the first halves of games the entire regular season. Then conceded the opening goal against Alabama, scored minutes later, ended up winning the game in the first round they played, the quarterfinals.
And they've had a difficult time managing the high press of LSU in this first half, and certainly something that Darren Ambrose is going to talk to at halftime. But this Vanderbilt team needs to get Courtney Jones on the ball, Macy Teeter. Quite often they're going long to bypass LSU's press, but then you're playing right into the hands of LSU with their physical players in Oliveira as well as Jazz Ferguson in center back positions.
This runs out of the reach of Stafford. Substitutions coming. Take a look at the stands. Interim athletic director Verge Osbury is here. You know, Sean Hudson was largely out of Baton Rouge for the last 10 days because she's been here and has missed so much of what's gone on there. but within 10 minutes of the end of the semifinal against Mississippi State, the interim athletic director gives her a call and says, hey, bring my first SEC title back to Baton Rouge. Sitting amongst the fans. Man of the people.
No pressure.
None
pressure,
at all.
Coach.
Well, I joked with Sean and go, that is the fastest route to a contract extension under an athletic director I have ever experienced. Gabbi Blanco Gonzalez lost the handle. The whistle continues to blow. No advantage, rather just a foul. And that is Vivian Akyirem, the senior from Ghana, who's just come into the game. Melania Fullerton came in as well. The 11 members of the LSU peanut gallery all said out, and eventually the AR relented. Stafford.
Appeal for everything, Mike.
You stop that. Ceballos knocks it back. Cheeseman.
Find it. There's the ball. There's the ball.
Jones from Orlando. We were actually speaking with Seb Hines, the Pride head coach, said we're all watching the tournament in part because we want to watch Jones play. Seb Hines coached her as a youth player. Giles Barnes coached her as a youth player, lead assistant on that staff. A bit of a connection to the Pride as well for Jones. Past half an hour, Sean Hudson looks on. He really didn't lend any credence to the idea that this SEC championship would mean anything earth-shattering for her. More for the team, for the program, how much they've deserved this moment, for how they've played over this 10-game unbeaten run. Really shirked the individual accolade of it. Though she was walking the beach by her lonesome this morning at 6 a.m. Pondering, thanking. Stafford. Ball popped out of play, and that'll be a corner.
Oh, well done from Kelsey Major, just to keep her feet underneath of her, put pressure on Stafford, so Stafford doesn't have that window to get off the delivery, but also for Soraya Bailey to come all the way back, double press, get two players on Olivia Stafford and deny that ability to cut the ball back across the grain.
Not a sight you want to see. Soraya Bailey is down.
So let's take a step back this way.
Bailey had been dealing with an illness coming into the tournament. Didn't really practice all that much over the last week. That, of course, unrelated to the work they're currently doing on her right lower leg.
Change that stuff 11 for 15. Yes.
She's going to come off for the time being, and McKenna Dominguez, who was away with the El Salvador national team at the end of the regular season. Take a look at what happened to her here. Just went down awkwardly as she hop-stepped through.
Yeah, it's unclear. It looked like she held her right ankle, though.
Soraya's dad played football at Southern in Baton Rouge. She actually grew up in Calgary, played over in England in Chelsea's pathway. So Sean Hudson flew over to see her, drove 5 hours into the English countryside, raining torrentially. There's only 7 at training, but the second she touched the ball, a little Eden Hazard in her. Twists and turns, separation. This hits off the bar, but was well covered by Skiving. Thursday night, 9 Eastern, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the SEC Women's Soccer Tournament semifinals and championship game. Never before seen footage and sound from players and coaches. It's a real behind-the-scenes look right here on the SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app. So Soraya Bailey will check out for the time being. College soccer granted the ability to re-enter, so hopefully not the end of her day. Seems to be walking a little bit better now. That's a foul.
Not the outcome that LSU wanted, but you can see the desire and the numbers that they flood over to that far side and not allow Vanderbilt the opportunity to change the point of attack, because Vanderbilt want to lure LSU into unfavorable areas of the pitch, quickly change the point of attack and find isolation moments.
Tula speared outside. Miles upfield, Bolig. Forced backward by Dominguez. Tula, now Stafford. Slides inside, Herman's daughter drops deep. Dominguez tried to lead her, Matula back in for Bolig. A massive brace on her right knee. Missed 3 full seasons. Ball ahead toward Gator. Deflected for a corner by Jocelyn Oliveira.
It's a sneaky ball there from Bolig out of a central position, looking for the run in central areas, but LSU does such a good job to outnumber the ball carrier. Oliveira slides across, Ferguson's there, Skiving's there.
Knotted out, great first touch. Opens the door. Dominguez leading. It's too far for Blanco Gonzalez. Texas, reigning champion, did not qualify for the tournament this year. Herman's daughter takes over. McLaughlin. LSU won the tournament in 2018 as a 7 seed. Vandy in 2020 as a 5. Teeter, just enough to get this out to Akyirem. Trying to slide by. Clever movement. Blanco Gonzalez. Whistle eventually goes against Akyirem. Ceballos. Far for Dominguez. Seven different champs over the last 8 years of the SEC tournament. South Carolina, the only team to win twice in that span. One of these teams will join them.
22, Alex Smith, replacing 2, Ellie Boyd.
Now that's a stickler for the rules. Bring the ball back, you can't bring it forward. Akyirem, that got deflected. Ceballos chases out. Let's go back to the goal. 26th minute, Gabbi Ceballos from Ida Hermansdottir.
And just look at the run of Gabbi Ceballos from deep area. It's a sensational run. Flew through the air, knotted it in the back of the net, past Widelko. So much pace and strength to evade her marker and rise above to steer that one on frame. Exceptional goal from Gabbi Ceballos. The cherry on top to her performances in this SEC tournament.
And I think if either of these teams ultimately win, the player of the tournament is anybody's guess. There have been so many different players deserving of that accolade. But the game-winning goal doesn't hurt. If you look what Ceballos has done over the length of this, she'd have to be the front runner despite all the statistics that her teammates have compiled.
Yeah, she certainly doesn't show up on the stat sheet as much as her influence, but constantly setting up this LSU Tigers team for success with her positional awareness, her defensive position, intercepting, tackling.
Stafford, ball settled. That's just a tad heavy. Oh, Smith trying to burst through. And Amy Smith drops in. Hold up forward, who's come off the bench and been impactful throughout the season.
And she certainly can provide a direct route, a shortcut for LSU through Vanderbilt's counter pressure. You can just hit it long and into Amy Smith's feet. She can hold up play, keep defenders at bay, and allow the attack and Ida Hermansdottir to support underneath.
Flutters back to Matula. Become a vital piece to transfer from A&M. If you look at either side of the field, Freeman transfer from Ole Miss, Matula from A&M. Vanderbilt has done a good job of picking off really valuable pieces from other SEC programs. Molding them into their construct.
And I think Darren Ambrose does such a good job of balancing ball playing and ball winning type players. You've got the composers in midfield, the composers in the back three, but you also get a ton of athleticism on that back three, and it suits Darren Ambrose's style really well. They want to hem in their opponent into the defensive third, and that back three is so good at stalling counterattack moments.
Well, and this is the first time he's ever been related to Frank Sinatra, but I did it my way. He has, in a conference that forces you to be transitional, to be athletic. He's molded this team's game to be able to play in that gear and win in that gear, but be known for something a little more nuanced.
In a conference where anything goes, Mike, whether it's being high pressing, man orientated, high up the pitch, trying to encircle a ball carrier, to Darren Ambrose picking players that are press resistant. And I think that this is the most creative team in the conference in terms of all the way back from the goalkeeper, the clever positions that she picks up, the center back's ability to use their body to shield off the press, play through presses, all the way up to your number 9, who is an artist with her movement to create time and space. It's creativity from top to bottom.
Sydney Watts takes a seat. Vicky Pugh comes on. Came forward to Smith. Slides in, but it's directly to Akyirem. Crossfield for Stafford. Major, smart to let that run by. Stafford had checked in on it. And to your point, the struggles that Vandy felt they had against the likes of Arkansas, Alabama's pressure forced them as they looked in recruiting to find those press-resistant players that allow them to go 1-2 passes, and then there's acres of space if you get to the third.
It's one of the most valuable skill sets in college soccer, Mike, is the ability to ward off pressure, because there's not a lot of time for teams to have nuanced low blocks, mid blocks, high presses, and so you need players that can escape a simple man-orientated press, and you have to identify those players. Then you got to convince them to come to your program, and that's another thing I think Darren Ambrose does so well, is identifying what players' areas for improvement are and then bringing them to his program and developing those skill sets. And we see this be a pathway to the professional game.
11th year in charge at Vanderbilt. As mentioned earlier, won the tournament in 2020, won the regular season in 18. I feel this is another mark of consistency, that not only back in this final, but competed for a championship on the last day of the regular season as well. We'll talk to him at halftime.
Yes, keep going. Just out, just out. Yes.
Major. Flicked ahead by Fullerton. Ticks to go in this first half. Gabbi Ceballos, the opening goal. We'll show you that goal. Talk about the SEC, a historic season for the conference in women's soccer. Give you an idea of what the bubble looks like in the NCAA tournament as well. And LSU, that goal in the 26th minute could seal a title.
Yes, Ken!
Nodded away. Team capable of the spectacular goals. Jones forced outside, bashes it off of Vida Hermansdottir. We might need a second. You hear the shout from the bench, putting her body on the line. It's something we heard from Jasmine Ferguson, how this team is defended down the stretch together and physically giving everything they can.
And we talk so much about these superstars on this LSU Tigers team, Mike, and what they can do in transition, in open space, in the attack. But it really is a defensive solidity for me. That's the superstar of this LSU team, because it allows the attack to flourish. And Vida Hermansdottir, this is another side of her game that we're starting to see, the commitment to the defensive side of the ball in the midfield.
Dominguez. Still time here. Vandy can get this ball in. They need a ball to throw.
Ten, 9,
Countdown
8,
is on. Smith
7,
beneath it.
6, 5, 4,
Fast
3,
end from halfway.
2, 1,
And we'll head to halftime with LSU out in front. The 5 seed trying to complete a 4-game journey to a trophy. It is Ceballos who's put them ahead in the 26th.
Well, my credit to LSU, because they've been hassling and hounding and harrying Vanderbilt in their possession, which unsettled them really early in this game, gave them an open door to find the lead through Gabbi Ceballos. And now LSU is sitting back a little bit more comfortable in their low block, and Vanderbilt are going to have to continue to probe.
Darren Ambrose is the 11th year head coach for the Commodores. Joins us from the field. It's Mike and Jill in the booth. Your thoughts on these opening 45 minutes, Coach?
I thought LSU did a really good job of forcing us, to play bigger than we wanted to. And frankly, our technical quality was pretty poor. We didn't retain the ball well enough, and we went vertical too quickly. All the things we've talked about not doing, and I think we give up a goal on a set piece for the first time in conference play. So it's really disappointing, to be honest with you.
Darren, how can you get your midfield on the ball a little bit more in the second half?
Well, I think there were times when they were wide open. We looked, frankly, we looked like we've played 4 games, not them. And our legs were heavy, and we were stretching for passes, and lack of communication. We were a little slow in our thought. There are people in good spots in the middle of the field. We just, for whatever reason, we're just not. That's what we're going to address. Is we can find them, but the technical quality wasn't there. But we certainly have got to get back to playing back through midfield and into our forwards' feet from closer distances.
Another half to go. Thank you for the time, Coach.
Thanks.
So Vanderbilt hopes that the comeback trail exists over the next 45 minutes. From the walkout in front of a packed house in Pensacola, the save from Skiving, and moments later, Ceballos the go-ahead. A look at a historic year in the SEC to come. The SEC championship. Back in Pensacola, Florida, in the Panhandle. Gorgeous venue, fantastic week of soccer. The best tournament in college soccer, including on Championship Sunday. It is the tournament that just means more. LSU leads Vanderbilt 1-0 at halftime. Let's take a look at our first half highlights between LSU and Vanderbilt. And Vandy with the great early chance from Watts.
Well, this was their best looking opportunity. It comes from Matula into the head of Teeter. Good counter movement from Sidney Watts on that back line, but it's Skeving in the end. Fantastic save to keep that one level, and that would open the door for the go-ahead goal from Gabbi Ceballos. LSU have so many aerial targets. Jazz Ferguson, Ava Galligan into the game, but it's Gabbi Ceballos that Vanderbilt allowed to go unmarked. Don't contend with any type of physical presence or pressure to off-balance Ceballos. She easily walks that one in the back of the goal.
And so inside half an hour, it's LSU trying to upset their way all the way to the title. Now, we'll talk about them in just a moment. Vanderbilt, we already heard from Darren Ambrose. They feel like they're the side that's playing their 4th game of the week. What did you take away from his comments their first half?
Mike, they're getting away from their identity. We talked about it from the outset. This is a team that wants to have 1,000 passes before they can walk the ball into the back of the goal. And they haven't quite done that because the proximity and the distances in the midfield have been too big, leaving players on islands. I certainly imagine in the second half they're going to come out, put pressure on this LSU back line, and LSU is going to have to defend their box well.
And you said it within 5 minutes, LSU came to play.
Oh, they were hassling Vanderbilt high up the pitch. That really stifled the possession. And when Vanderbilt get a lot of numbers in the attack, that's when they're at their best. They weren't able to accomplish that in the first half, but expect to see that more in the second.
All right, so it's LSU with the lead, and will they take the trophy home from Pensacola? Sidney Watts and the Doors had their eyes on a comeback. LSU already have their eyes on the trophy. Second half is coming up next. Welcome back to the 2025 SEC Soccer Tournament on the SEC Network, presented by Allstate. It's LSU with the lead over Vanderbilt, and the Tiger head coach, Sean Hudson, joins us from the field. It's Mike and Jill in the booth. What was your message to the group at halftime with the lead?
I thought we had a really disciplined and collective performance in the first half, Mike. I think the game plan's working, but it's another 45 minutes of soccer to go, so just mentality, game management. Manage the ball and manage the spaces that we want them to play in.
Sean, we talk so much about the attacking superstars on your team, but for me, the defense has been the superstar in this tournament, really solid. What do you expect from them in the second half?
An absolute graft. 45 minutes, we've got to put a shift in. I told them we don't win championships easy, and Vandy's going to put us under pressure in the second half. Stick together, fight through adversity. And most importantly, let's just see if we can limit crosses in the box for Sidney Watts to get on the end of it.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck.
Thank you.
And so, Vandy and LSU prepared for this second half of play. Only one can take the trophy home. And maybe a statement of intent. Vanderbilt has been on the field in formation for minutes now, waiting to kick off the second half before LSU had even taken the field. Maybe message received onto the second half.
I'm like, they should be foaming at the mouth because they know they were poor in that first half. That was far from their best. Expecting for them to see and craft more ways to be threatening from the wide channels, but also looking to penetrate centrally. But Darren Embers hit the nail on the head in terms of the proximity of passing distances needs to be a little bit shorter.
What's your
And they begin in that vein. McLaughlin, ball got swiped away by Witz. Inside from Galligan. Hermansdottir sweeping, leading. Bailey spinning, lost the handle.
Let's go, Wayne!
Witz nods it down, but it's into the path of Teeter. Here's Pence trying to grind away from Cheeseman. Advantage played. Stafford. Comes out to Bolig. Touch was a bit loose. Went down too easily. Play on. The holdup from Watts. Circulates back. Bolig steps into the space.
Mike, we're a minute and a half in, and this is already so much better from Vanderbilt. This is more of what has made them successful all season long. The quick combination play to rip through defenses, but then that quick counter pressure, that is what made them successful in their last game against Georgia. Georgia really couldn't find a foothold in that game because of the press and the repress from Vanderbilt.
How about that? Upsets galore over the last 7 SEC soccer tournament championship games. Vanderbilt and LSU both have accomplished the job as a lower seed.
Yes, Kels.
It's going to be important, Mike, for this LSU team to come defensively. That's what I asked Sean Hudson about the defensive effort, and I think it's going to start, oddly enough, with arms. Arms being super pivotal for defenders, and we saw it in the first half. The Vanderbilt defense didn't use their arms to off-balance Gabbi Ceballos' run. They didn't off-balance her when she rose up to connect with the ball. That's going to be important for this LSU back line. Not only inside the area to defend their box, but for Kelsey Major and Sid Cheeseman. Once that ball touches past them, that they don't have to necessarily win the ball. They've got to win the space, more importantly, and the way they can do that is initiating contact with their arms.
This is a very rare effort to describe the value of arms to soccer. Well done.
I wish defenders use their arms more. It would make goalkeepers' lives a little easier.
Yeah. Only one person can pick the ball up with their arms still, right?
If only you got like one mulligan a game, like one time a game, you can pick it up outside the area. That would make more interesting. Then you see field players having to train as goalkeepers.
Yeah. I don't think she's interested in officiating that. Will be Ferguson preparing to go to work. Hermansdottir nods it on. Witz turns, plays on to Hermansdottir. Hermansdottir! It is wide! Galligan on the doorstep. It ricocheted off her at an awkward angle and didn't get over the line. A good initial save by Widelko. And Galligan just had to push it over.
I am not sure, Mike, how this doesn't go in the back of the net. Fantastic initial save from Widelko. Ida Hermansdottir has an opportunity from distance, and Ava Galligan uncontested all alone. We typically see her so comfortable in front of goal.
For Ava Galligan, that is a 1.0 expected goal. But the way it ricocheted up, it didn't hit her foot. It hit off around her knee or her thigh, and just an awkward angle in the end. Vanderbilt spared their blushes. That could have been devastating 5 minutes out of halftime.
Especially because Vanderbilt has looked much different in this second half to start this second half comeback here for the Doors.
sending Pence. Olivera. Stafford shares her opinion.
And this has been a fun matchup to watch so far in this game. Kelsey Trainer using her arms right there to hold off Olivia Stafford. That's exactly what I was just referencing. It's about gaining position. Well defended in the end.
Ceballos out of pressure, back to Cheeseman. Herman's daughter has really used the whole toolkit in this tournament. Witz. Freeman intervening from behind. Jones pops out the other side. Pence front running. Got away from Olivera. Pops it ahead. Cheeseman tucked inside. Down the line, foot race, service toward Watts. That's back at the penalty spot.
And they have a really special connection, Mike. We saw it in the game against Georgia. Olivia Stafford was able to pick the pocket of Summer Denigan and get down the flank around Hernader. And such a good connection with...
This from range, off the hands of Skiving and able to dive on the grenade. A ton of English on that from Teeter.
And this is what happens when defenses get compromised out wide. It's Teeter just deciding to go on one touch from distance. She's just loitering at the edge of the box, looking for those quick combination plays or an opportunity to tee up herself.
And the lead suddenly was teetering for LSU. Oh, come on. Slip ball ahead. Shielded to the line. That is going to stay in. That was a deflection, not a pass, and so it's scooped up as Galligan remains down off the field of play. Watts. Clever first touch. Allows support to join. Slide in from Teeter.
I love that pass from Hannah McLaughlin out wide to Stafford to start that sequence. But here's a look back that happened to Ava Galligan. She's trying tirelessly to get around the edge of Hannah McLaughlin to no avail.
Galligan, 5 goals over the course of the past 10 games, that unbeaten run for LSU. If you look at the front 3 for that group in totality, combined with Witz, who's joined into that attack increasingly as a wide player, with Herman's daughter playing centrally a bit more of late. Pence couldn't hang on. Teeter knocks it wide. Vanderbilt so dangerous from wide areas. Stafford got usurped at the end.
But it's again the central overload for Vanderbilt in the midfield. Reagan Pence just dropping off the back line next to Gabbi Ceballos and pinning Ceballos centrally. And that's allowing space for Macy Teeter just on the edge of the central corridor to pick up the ball to play make from.
Clock stopped as they went to check on Stafford. Pence growing into the game more and more. Freshman on either flank of the conference's leading scorer, Sydney Watts, herself just a junior.
And her movement, Oliveira is going to have to account for, whether she steps in to get pressure on Pence's back or stays in a more central position, because it's all about creating space for Sydney Watts. And at times, the center backs, if I'm the center backs, I'm not even looking at the ball when Olivia Stafford has it out wide, because she's not really a goal threat. She's looking to find Sydney Watts. I'm putting all of my attention on Watts, bodying her up, using my arms to usher her out of a goal-scoring position.
Ferguson, flick on. Settled by Teeter. In at the far sideline. Major got her legs kicked out.
Well done, Kelsey Major. She has been as good as they come out of that fullback position tonight. Certainly one of her best performances of this season, just wrapping up Olivia Stafford and really negating Stafford's influence out on that wide channel.
10th Vanderbilt foul. LSU just 4. Cheeseman may have scored the goal of the year. Not your goal of the year, second best of the year against Auburn. Launches into the box. Galligan got first contact. And it's a foul on Wicks.
I think the referee it's a little soft because it is shoulder to shoulder here, but just trying to get control of this game because it's going to get a little bit more chippy as time wanes out for both teams.
It's kind of funny. Witz commits the foul. Freeman looked entirely unperturbed by it. Dominguez taps it wide, lofted back post. Bailey just trying to keep it alive. Subs both ways. You know, this is a good moment to mention. Yeah, LSU, this is their 4th game in 8 days. Think back to the Tennessee game. They go up by 2. They felt fairly comfortable that they had the balls where they wanted them, took players off with 10 minutes remaining, and saved a little bit of time there. Then you go up 3-0 on Mississippi State. You're up a player in the semifinal. To get 600 minutes out of your bench in the first 3 games gave everyone on the field a chance to take a breath. I'm not surprised they are as lively as they are, given how much they were able to steal from the bench.
But also important on the other side of it as well, Mike, is getting Blanco Gonzalez some more minutes in this team, as well as Dominguez, who have provided a lot of stability when they come on the ball in different ways, as well as Dvorkova in central positions.
This is as much quality depth as I can remember LSU ever having. They brought Dominguez in from international duty, missed the final 3 games of the regular season. Talking with Sean Hudson, she goes, yeah, it's a big loss for us, but I'm never going to take that opportunity away from one of our players. Giving did the same thing with Iceland at the end last regular season, the goalkeeper for LSU today.
And it's credit to Sean Hudson and her coaching staff for being able to instill trust in the players that they put on the pitch. Their roles have been clearly established for them. And when you go on the field as a player and you know that your coach has your back and that they've prepared you in every single way to solve any single problem, you can play with a sense of freedom. And that's what we're seeing some of these game changers play with for this LSU side, this entire conference play and into this SEC tournament as well.
And they are so versatile in the shapes that they play. I mean, if you get through a half without seeing them change shape, it feels like you've seen Bigfoot. But it's prepared them for this moment. Spins outside toward Freeman, met by Cheeseman.
And to your point, Mike, they've been flexible and they've been able to shape shift their structures as well as their game plan. And I think Sean Hudson does such a good job of choosing the best game plan where their defensive pressure, whether they're high pressing or sitting back into a low block, suits their attacking style so well.
Pressure being applied, rolled all the way back. We're not calling that, no. It's a good call by the official. It's worth noting that that could have been a potential dog-so, although the goalkeeper certainly had a good step on it. It'd be the last defender prior to the goalkeeper. So if the ball goes out of play, they could have another look at that. Dog-so being denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. But it would not be a penalty, of course, outside the box, that contact. In real time, I didn't see anything to it.
I think she was looking for it a little bit there. Witz knew that it was the last defender. She felt a little bit of contact, exaggerated that contact, and went down to ground. But in games like this, when you know that the goalkeeper's out, you don't really have a shot at winning that ball, you might as well go for it.
Oh, okay, good.
Ferguson, the former American Conference Freshman of the Year, co-defender of the year at East Carolina. Started every game this year. Hermansdottir, Olivere, Major all have. Ball snagged at the high point. Delco rolls it into play and into pressure. And a foul from Gadea Blanco Gonzalez. We've got two great women's college basketball games coming your way this week on SEC Network. Kansas City and 6th-ranked Oklahoma, 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Then Thursday, it's Belmont and the Lady Vols at 7 p.m. Both games are also available on the all-new ESPN app. LSU starts the year 5th in the country. South Carolina and Texas both in the top 5 as well from the SEC. Tacticians probably take a lot of joy out of seeing Darren Ambrose hit that whiteboard because he is one of the really good thinkers we have in this game.
And right now, I'm curious to see what he's drawn up, but I think it's an opportunity to take advantage of the 2v2 that's in the back right now. Because LSU have taken a risky approach with their press, they're leaving their center backs 2 versus 2 with Reagan Pence as well as Sydney Watts. And they feel comfortable with that because of Jazz Ferguson as well as Joss Olivere's 1v1 defensive capabilities.
Slid away from Pence.
Come on, Cal! Come on, Cal! Stand up! Go, get down the line! Come on! Brilliant! Brilliant!
Out into space. Willing runners joining the box. Teeter chasing, drops down. Teeter now! That deflects, may have caught an arm. Continues, can be looked at if needed. Service back into the box. Cheeseman spears it out as far as Mary Beth McLaughlin. Stab back to Bolig.
Yes.
And here's a look back at that last opportunity from Vanderbilt. It was Sydney Watts who floated out wide, created space on the back post, and Teeter there gets a shot on frame, but it's Jazz Ferguson. Her arm is within the frame of her body. It's never going to be called a penalty inside the area.
Kelsey Major just got shown a card. Samantha Martinez a couple times now has had to go over and tell players not to take extra steps up the line, and at this point, time wasting comes into play as well.
Jazz, on that last one, you don't have to come. Both of you bump, and then they play through. Next time we'll take this foul.
Major offering a thought to Oliveri there.
And this is curious, Mike, because Kelsey Major now has to play on a yellow card, and she is certainly an area that Vanderbilt likes to target in those 1v1 scenarios. She's done a fantastic job defensively so far in this game, but that's going to put a little pressure on her to make sure that she is well-timed in her tackles.
First player carded in this game. Freeman. Pressure ratcheting up from Vanderbilt. Teeter. That is going to stay in play. And turned over to Teeter. Flicked back toward the end line and out. Oliveri last to touch it. Corner to Vanderbilt. There's a corner down on this end from Hermansdottir in the 26th minute. Now with 26 minutes remaining. Fifth corner for Vandy. The sun sets from this side. Appears to be high enough in the air at the moment not to cause a huge issue.
And for as good as Vanderbilt's been all year at crossing scenarios and creating these types of situations, they have yet to score from a corner kick in conference play.
No time like the present. It'll be their fifth attempt in this game. Starts with service, ultimately easy enough for Skiving, who's good in the air.
And that's one of the reasons why Skiving's in for LSU right now. Obviously in a good run of form, but her ability to protect the goal area has been a massive difference maker for this LSU side, especially in this tournament when she's getting a few games, a little bit more consistency. That decision becomes more intuitive and easier.
Galligan leading touch. Galligan into space. Galligan denied. Had all the makings of the insurance that LSU was looking for.
Well done from Margot Matula. She slides out of a central position, well timed as she leaves Morgan Witz to put pressure on the ball, to take away the pass and the back post. Ushers Galligan.
Ball whipped across by Ceballos and caught by Widelko. Is that from Matula a case of Vanderbilt maybe taking added risk, or just an error that occurs from time to time? Was that an example of how the game is going to be played from here on?
And I think Vanderbilt have to take more risks in their builds, have to get more numbers forward into the attack as well. So it's going to start a little bit deeper and give LSU opportunities to create those turnovers closer to Vanderbilt's goal.
So Galligan went down. The athletic training staff has come to have a look. Galligan went down over the end line earlier in the half. This is the initial tackle that left her down for about half a minute previously.
It's unclear what's impeding Galligan at the moment, but she's walking off on her own accord.
You know, she spoke about it after the Auburn game in the opening round, said, you know, the SEC tournament adrenaline sort of takes over and becomes fight or flight. A lot of the IQ elements of the game sort of go out the window. Have to grind it out. And goal ahead with 25 minutes to go. Never has that been more true.
IQ doesn't necessarily go out the window. You just fall to the level of your training, right? You play instinctively into the way that you were trained, and you rely on your gut instincts in these moments, because the second that you have to think about something consciously, it's already too late, especially in this conference.
And also number 15, Sarai Bailey.
Galligan will take a break, can't re-enter. And you think back to where LSU was when you and I first saw them about halfway through conference play in person against Auburn. It was a group where if they didn't win that game, you had to start going, well, now you're probably going to need to win out or something of that ilk to get into the tournament at all. End up going on this epic run, 10 games unbeaten, school record. That's all fantastic. But at the time, Sean Hudson was just saying, I hope we don't leave it too late. I'd like to not have any more gray hairs than I already have from past years. finished 5th. Next 25 minutes could add a gray or two. They can't find that goal that puts Vanderbilt really behind the 8 ball. They were 30th in RPI at the time. They're up to 16, giving themselves a chance at being seeded in the NCAA tournament. 5 seeds, none, 0 have ever won it. That means usually you have to seed the 4 and then the 1. Well, a little bit of benefit for LSU. They didn't have to face the number 1 seed this time around. 2s have won 9 SEC tournaments. 33-year history.
Going back to that 2018 Cinderella story of an LSU championship run.
Dancing, Bailey. Ball got away. Witt's trying to scoop it.
They have a knack for defying all odds, Mike.
They do. Double overtime against Mizzou, penalties against Tennessee. Upset of a top 25 South Carolina team, and then took out Arkansas and Penn's to win the 2018 conference championship.
And also provide us one of the best goals of an SEC tournament final.
Shannon Cook from way downtown. Take a look, that's Major, who's on a yellow, going at it with Stafford.
Yeah, she's got to be careful, but when you saw that initial shot, 3-4 purple shirts around Stafford, that's how much attacking gravity she has, and LSU committed to not allowing her to change the point of attack.
A lot of numbers in the box, but again, Skiving able to collect it. By the way, would you take Major out of this game at any point, playing on that?
No, yeah. Not right now. I think she's having the game of her career at that left fullback tonight, as it completely neutralized the effect of Olivia Stafford out wide, has denied her service, and that was always going to be one of the keys coming into today's match.
Yeah, we talk about the risk of playing on a yellow. I agree with you. It's just something where, especially in the pro game, you get 70 minutes in, you're defending a ton of crosses and balls forward. At what point do you consider that, or do you trust a veteran player to handle the job?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. She's not a young, naive player. She has experience. She's got a cool head in scenarios like this, and has been a player that Sean Hudson has relied on time and time again, year after year.
Always smiling. We feed off her energy. Missed her freshman year due to injury. The New Orleans native ended up being a major player off the bench as a redshirt freshman. Started half the games last year. Has been a starter every game through 22 this year. Free kick for LSU, and these are dangerous. Rising up to push it away from Bailey.
And you could just see, Mike, how well Kelsey Major has done in this match, because how many times have Oliveri as well as Jazz Ferguson bailed out this LSU back line in the penalty area? I can't remember any today.
This is a foul from Dominguez. That's going to come with a card. So Dominguez shown a yellow for denying a promising opportunity, more so than the challenge itself.
It's really well done from Akyirem to get this ball, and she travels so well with the ball. A deft ball carrier trying to eat up yards and forces Dominguez into a dilemma.
Akyirem, couple years at Northeastern, part of the Right to Dream pipeline from Ghana. Jones shuffling this forward, skipping it down. It's in! It's in! It is Akyirem and an equalizer. LSU is asking for video review. They can't look for a foul suffered by Skiving. But as it stands, Akyirem, just their 3rd goal of the year.
And it's a long set piece into the penalty area, and Skiving has been so good in these moments. And it looks like she collides with her own player in Jazz Ferguson, but it's Margot Matula initially there to go up to challenge Skiving. This is not a foul for me. She has to punch this one away. She's going to claim possession, which she's done time and time again. This is what you get when you put the ball inside the penalty area. This is not a foul, although Sean Hudson was appealing for the referee to take a look. This is gonna be good, and well done from Akyirem, because she drew this opportunity and then she puts it away. Opportunistic right in front of goal, finds the equalizer here, and an avenue for Vanderbilt to grow back into this game.
A yellow card to Sean Hudson for dissent. The LSU fans in front of us obviously haven't seen what we've seen, which is the contact that saw Schiving go down was from a teammate.
It's really tough for Schiving there, but in those moments, you have to approach that ball with flexibility in your decision. If you feel a little off balance, if there's traffic that you see, you have to be willing to punch that ball away, because exactly that, if you drop the ball, the opponent has so many players in front of goal that can take advantage of scraps. Two set pieces that have been the difference here in this game, Mike.
Vandy have shown their resilience again. Only the second time all year they've conceded in the first half. It took a matter of minutes against Alabama in the quarterfinals to equalize. Takes them about 45 to do the job now, but with 20 minutes to play, this SEC soccer championship game on level terms.
Very left.
And the chances that LSU have left on the table, will they haunt them? They feel like they left points on the table in all 5 of their losses. The sides played to a 0-0 stalemate back in September, the first game of conference play. A stalemate again with a trophy at the end. Cheeseman, lofting, settled. Bailey! Wadelko.
And LSU knocking on the door. Bailey knows she has to do better in that scenario. Vanderbilt's defense wide open. Allows Bailey just lurking out for this second ball. Well done. Takes it on one. And she's got to wrap it around Wadelko, who's off her line. Good anticipation from Bailey to play off the highest target. Good save from Wadelko in the end.
The 2025 SEC Soccer Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. Inside 20 minutes to play. We know stylistically how these teams operate. You've also watched this game for 71 minutes. How do you eke out a winner if you're one side or the other, given everything you've seen thus far?
Well, this game has been a scrap. It has been a fight. We haven't typically seen Vanderbilt kind of get into those games and be able to eke out wins. And they're going to settle into this match now. A little bit pressure's been taken off their back, and see if they can settle into their possession game, which made them successful to this point so far this year.
Akyirem unfortunately lost it of her own volition, and Dominguez slow to get up. This is a Vanderbilt program that in the past has utilized boxing gloves among the many different ways of describing sort of the team motto for the season. This year it was dog tags. It's Dominguez felt the contact after Akyirem rolled over the ball and into her legs. The hard hat, Legos, the hammer versus the anvil. Aaron Ambrose always has a unique way of trying to describe what's necessary from a team to be successful year to year. But this year he spoke about just the joy that this team has playing together. It's honestly a bit refreshing to hear it put that way. Bailey, no further, but Ceballos is trailing. Major pushing forward off the left-hand side. Turned it over to Jones.
LSU just look alive to it more, Mike. And you talked about the first 71 minutes. It has been a fight, it's been a scrap, but LSU still looks up for that challenge. Even on that longer pass into their highest target, LSU wise to it, keen to those moments to go and win second ball, and leaving Vanderbilt caught ball watching in central positions. Looks like LSU's just, even though they conceded that equalizer, still have the edge.
Blanco Gonzalez available off the right-hand side, but the ball never got there. Teeter, beware, Ceballos arriving. Slashed back by Matula. Hannah to Marybeth McLaughlin. Shimmying through, Smith. Siphoned off by Hermansdottir, playing deeper.
All that work from Ellett Smith, and she just carelessly concedes it in a central position. That's the last thing that you want to do when your team's wide open.
Hermansdottir playing into the feet. Gabbi Blanco Gonzalez. Cheeseman into Ceballos, the initial goal scorer. Bailey comes back to Ellett Smith. Smith picks her head up. Launches that into space.
That's called a power thigh. It's the technical term for when you're defending the space behind the back of the line.
What is it in Icelandic? Something like oops?
At that point, you're like, whatever I can get on the ball to clear it away from the opponent when I'm outside the box.
Yep. With LSU. Look at Vandy. We talked about the dog tags a minute ago. They talked about identity. That's a thumbprint with what they say is their DNA. Toughest, fittest, most prepared. It's always their mantra. Last year they used a military challenge coin, but it's about finding discipline and communication, trust. It's resonated with the team. Aaron Ambrose says he's read so many books about military tactics because that's where the stakes are highest. So how do we take lessons from the most elite teams? He said there's no more elite team than that.
22%.
They're going to need every bit of that DNA. They've already equalized. And they possibly leave here with the title now. This hit off the player, they're going to stop the attack. Witts had the ball. And they're calling for the trainer to come have another look at Macy Teeter. See Galligan on the bench. The exhaustion of the week starting to take hold.
LSU just trying to quickly change the point of attack. I think this is a good call from the referee. It hits Teeter right in the back of the head. That's a really difficult situation.
Coach, do we want to...
Any head injury, you're going to stop play, whether it's in the pathway of goal or not.
Yeah, I think that's the right play by the referee in an abundance of caution. Going back to that dog tag story, Mike, I think it's so wise for Darren Ambrose to put a physical reminder of identity, because during the season you are undoubtedly going to face a lot of challenge and a lot of adversity, and in those moments you want to rely on who you are.
Out to Witts, across. Blanco Gonzalez couldn't square it up. But like, you know, I think players, they also have one thing, Summer, which I thought was funny. That one player got a stoplight because as you go, we go. If you say stop, we stop. If you say green, we go. But every different player got a different object, and it's just something tangible. I mean, players will come back and talk about that a decade later. They oftentimes still have it.
Mike, and it's just a way as well to calm nerves. And you think about a match like this, so much is on the line. You're going to feel a little bit of nerves, a little bit of anxiety. And you think of that anxiety as fire. And yeah, fire can burn a house down, but a fire can also keep your house warm. It can light your kettle for tea or coffee. It's just how you harness it. So when you know your identity, it helps also calm your nerves when things feel like they could really fly off the rails.
Their mission this year was to get a little further than they did last year. Ousted in the first round of this tournament. They've done that. Went to the round of 16. If they win this, they've got a very legitimate shot at being a #1 seed. #4 in RPI. Power 4 conference champion. They were just one game away from potentially winning the regular season title that Arkansas grabbed on the last day.
Everything you got, Trey. Let's go, bro.
5-2 against ranked opponents, including wins against their last 4. One of their losses to Memphis, they're still unbeaten. Slip through. Contact at the edge of the area, enough to jostle the ball free and out for a corner. This is where LSU made their hay. They only have 1 quarter in this game. It was their goal.
It was a good little combination play out in the wing to release Ava Galligan down the side of Margot Matula. In the end, well defended by Matula to repel the service away, but could be a vital set piece here for the Tigers. Just keep your eye on the back post. Jazz Ferguson, number 40, Ava Galligan, number 20 in purple. Those are the targets.
First down! Let's go!
2 arms raised. The service across. A piece and cleared away from the post by McLaughlin. Teeter trying to get away. Bailey. Slick footwork out of harm's way. Cheeseman forward. Ferguson was still ahead, the center back off the set. Bailey twist down, Herman's daughter.
This has had elements of a different type of football today.
Yeah, you're looking at 120 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
This time it's Stafford who's hobbled by it. Hey, coming up next here on the SEC Network, stay tuned. Men's college basketball will be VMI taking on Missouri and Columbia. That game will start on the ESPN app on SEC Network Plus. But we hope you stick with us just a little bit longer. SEC Soccer Tournament Championship game. LSU trying to be the first #5 seed to ever win it. Vanderbilt trying to win their 4th. LSU their 2nd tournament championship. LSU won it in 2018. Vandy, a pair of titles in the 90s. And in the modern era, so to speak, took it home in 2020. If we remain tied, we would go to extra time, golden goal, and still no winner, we would go to penalties. It's actually all LSU knows in tournament finals at the SEC tournament. Lost in penalties in 09 to South Carolina, won in penalties against Arkansas in 2018. That is a long, long way away. 15 wins for Vandy, most of any team in the SEC, 8 straight wins. Only Georgetown and Stanford can claim longer streaks in Division I coming into Championship Sunday in women's college soccer. LSU 10 games unbeaten. Saw them rise up to the 5 seed, a school record unbeaten run. Stafford trying to chip it around.
Olivia Stafford sets up Ava Amsden really nice here, takes an interior touch, gets Amsden to bite, and then goes around the side, just a little too heavy on the touch.
That's deemed a corner. I'm not sure the players were aware.
Hey, 10 minutes! Let's go! Hey, winner's here! Hey, big here for... Right,
6
on your toes,
corners for
everything
Vandy.
out. Big here outing.
It's been fruitless for them in the SEC, but if they get one right here,
Let's go. On the toes,
that
on the toes,
one
on your
could
toes,
be
on your
golden.
toes. Come on, here we go.
Service across, whisked at by Skiving. Did touch it, corner.
Again! Let's go!
It's like Jones will try from the other side.
Coming into today, like 2 goals scored from set pieces for Vanderbilt. All SEC play long. And those were from free kicks. Still haven't found the back of the net from a corner kick yet this season.
Everything out!
Bouncing ball. Bolig went sliding in, defensively knocked out another corner. Ceballos is covering Bolig.
Bolig does a good job. That's the arm I was referencing earlier, but on the attacking side of the ball, Bolig does it so well to seal off Ceballos from defending that.
Jones! The wind, which was gusting around 20 miles an hour early in the game, has died down substantially, by the way.
Ideally, that's the ball that you want. Jones serves up a delectable little corner kick, in-swinger to the back post, and typically you can drag your opponent to the near post, creating more space on the back post, just not able to take advantage of it.
Major. Bailey this time. Remains with Vanderbilt. Pence. Major up again. Bailey. Caught her at the ankles.
Usually it's Bailey, an ankle breaker with the ball. This time trying to get pressure there on Pence.
Hit long. Watts back. Or to Akyirem, who equalized. It's back in the 70th minute now.
Back post. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
And we talked to Sean Hudson in halftime. This is exactly what she was referencing, is we'll allow Vanderbilt to have the ball in certain spaces in their attacking third, and LSU happy to allow Vanderbilt space down the sides because they're having 2v1s.
Able to ping across through, nobody home at the back post. Oh, wow. Pence. Bolig. Herman's daughter intervenes. Galligan, who was really laboring on the bench, chasing forward. Claughlin hits it long. Up by Dominguez, floated up by Mary Beth McLaughlin. Off of Major, down to Bailey. Swings it wrong side of Galligan. The return of Golden Goal, I think, takes away a lot of the desire to take it to extra time at the end of games. Herman's daughter. Herman's daughter, free kick, LSU. Dynamic place to win one. This is going to come with a card. booked.
And this is a cheap one for Bolig to give away in a really dangerous area of the pitch, because look at all the white jerseys around Ida Hermansdottir. There's 3 players back behind the ball. Bolig leaves her feet, mistimes this challenge, and this is the last thing that you want to see if you're Vanderbilt with 5 minutes left in the game, having to defend yet another dangerous set piece.
Cheeseman could hit it from here. Is that your best option? Probably not. But you don't think she can. You haven't watched Sydney Cheeseman yet. Cheeseman pops this up. Header for Galligan.
Hey, keep it up. Here we go.
But to go back to that point for a moment, if you concede a goal right now, as we take another look at the set piece.
And it's a clever little set piece clip here from Cheeseman, just a tad too high. But the entire time, Galligan had position on her defender. And you're going to bank on that, winning that battle every single time with Galligan. Just the ball just slightly above her range.
But if you take a little risk right now and you concede, you've got 5 minutes to turn it around. If you take a little risk in overtime and you concede, the game's over. So what used to be, get it to overtime and you're guaranteed 20 minutes, so maybe lighten the risk and then pick it up again at the start of overtime after a rest. That's not really part of the calculus the way it was a few years ago. Golden goal was here, then it was gone, now it's here again. There is no overtime in the regular season, so it'll be a new phenomenon to both in this campaign. That is Ferguson standing way up off that back line to break play up. Laughlin, Teeter slides, caromed off Ceballos.
And it is an interesting balance, Mike, because you don't want to get too desperate too early and take all the risk and leave yourself vulnerable, especially if you're Vanderbilt. I think LSU can take more risks to play in transition, send more numbers forward, because Vanderbilt don't really have those transitional attack type of players from deep areas.
And let's not forget, Widelko was quite the hero in penalties in the NCAA tournament last year against Florida State. For all we know, Schiving could be great in penalties too. We just haven't had an extended chance to find out.
And you wonder if that mistake to the eventual goal from Akyirem will play in the mind of Schiving.
Minguez and now Bailey. Good run. Mary Beth McLaughlin to eat up some territory. Head toward Watts. Prodded away by Ferguson.
And Sydney Watts really hasn't had a great influence in this game, partly because of Vanderbilt's possession. It's been difficult for Vanderbilt to get LSU to collapse centrally to create those wide overloads, and Sydney Watts really hasn't had the service today.
The holdup from Watts, not going to get that call.
But also, she's going against Jess Ferguson, who has proved her worth in this conference.
Jones. Laughlin. Under 2.5 minutes to play. Pins and needles in Pensacola. Good tackle by Bolig. Took out Bailey. Stabbed away from Teeter. Galligan holds up, spins, eyeballs the field. Shifts it in for Bailey. Knocked off the ball, but Galligan there to retain. Belongs to Vandy. Watts heads it along. Oliveri goes back to Schiving. Under 100 seconds to play. For all the bench minutes, LSU as a team has suffered through 90 minutes more than Vandy, who got the bye as well. LSU stopping the clock, getting some fresh legs on, and everyone's going to take a breath.
That Witz's pace is going to provide a bit more insurance defensively, as well as Blanco Gonzalez. But not only have they had to play an entire extra 90 minutes earlier this week, but this game has been an absolute physical battle.
LSU was picked 11th. No one saw this coming. Not finishing 5th, not getting the championship game until they made believers of everybody over the back half of their regular season. Vanderbilt took out number 4 Tennessee and felt like that was a long time coming. Deliberate. This ball ripped forward, caught by Skiving. From the first scrimmage against Virginia Tech, they knew they had something. Darren Ambrose left the field at halftime and thought this team could win a national championship. Vanderbilt 40 seconds from taking this to overtime after conceding the opening goal. Can you get it forward to Watts with half a minute to play? Two 10-minute periods of golden goal soccer if we need it. With 10 seconds remaining, it appears imminent.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
90 minutes isn't enough. The 2025 SEC Soccer Tournament Championship game is going to overtime.
And Mike, we talked about it from the outset that this game was going to be a real coin flip in terms of how close these two teams are. The possession style for Vanderbilt, which they really haven't utilized to their advantage, to the transitional set piece side of LSU. It has been a tough match, fought hard in 90. See if we can get a decisive game winner here in extra time.
They have played 180 minutes this season and are still square. It's 1-1. Golden goal soccer for a trophy is next. Welcome back to paradise, Pensacola, Florida. Under the palm trees, 11 games of soccer, and we're not done yet. Take a look at our tremendous crew under the direction of our producer, Todd Koulis, director, Johnny Hanna. It's a crew that just means more to us, and it just means more soccer now. How did we get here? LSU, the opening goal back in the 26th minute of play.
Well, Gabbi Ceballos is finally going to get the flowers for her tournament performance because of this goal. Picture perfect finish, the run, well executed header to give LSU the lead in that first half. But Vanderbilt would throw caution to the wind, lumping this ball into the penalty area. In the 70th minute, it would be a mistake from the goalkeeper for LSU. Skiving gets tangled up with Jazz Ferguson. But Akyirem, good focus in the end for her to find the equalizer and push this game to extra time.
No overtime anymore in the regular season. What's going on in these huddles right now other than very tired legs?
Just a reminder of what the 2 to 3 things are that you need to do to be able to go and find a result in this game. For LSU, it's defending their box, it's repelling services, being good in transition moments, and continue to just grind. Get the ball to your advanced playmaker, see if they can get squared up 1v1 and create a little bit of a moment of magic. For Vanderbilt, though, it's about weighing the risk right now. They have to be able to play through LSU's press. And when they do that, they've found moments to get into the final third, include more numbers forward, and they've got to profit from those situations.
The goal scorers are the unexpected heroes thus far. Does the championship goal come from one of the stars who's been scoring all season long? Ceballos' third of the year in the 26th. Akyirem's third of the year in the 70th. Witz scored in the final at Cal Baptist, part of the WAC championship team. Sydney Watts, the leading scorer in the SEC, will be one of the freshmen who flank on either side, Pence or Stafford. Could it be the likes of Ava Galligan, the first double-digit goal scorer for LSU since Jorian Baucom nearly a decade ago. The standard bearer, Herman's daughter. The next goal wins. You'd have to go back to 2018 when LSU slayed the Arkansas Giant. The last time a final went to overtime. A 7 seed then, a 5 seed trying to do what no 5 seed has ever done before. Only 3 times of the 8 overtime games in SEC soccer championship game history have we made it all the way to penalties. Someone's dream is about to come true. Someone else's is about to be dashed. You're about to have the trophy or the reason why you don't. Overtime. Gallagher. Early corner.
Well, that's a good start for LSU. That's certainly a player in Ava Galligan that you can play down the channel, allow her to chase, and she drifts out wide, and LSU have the speed up top to be able to maintain stride with Ava Galligan.
In the first half, it was Herman's daughter with a perfect corner to Ceballos for the opening goal. Herman's daughter now ricochets around, back across the penalty area, appeal for a handball, play on, knotted down by Witz, pops out high, and the clearance gets outside the 18. Slash over to Herman's daughter, pops it up, caught by Widelko.
And just as equally as important as the first service is that second delivery from Mita Herman's daughter. The Vanderbilt Commodores try to rush out, get pressure on Herman's daughter. She knows that little flip ball into the back post is going to be on. She had 2 runners just overhit it into Widelko's range.
By the way, they appealed for a handball. There was no contact to any arm from Vanderbilt. Rightfully, no call. Bolig. The holdup from Watts. Is it magic or a mistake? Golden goal always leaves you on the edge. The next goal is an SEC championship.
I felt sick during the Georgia-Kentucky game when that went to extra time, Mike.
And that was just to get to the semis.
My heart is in my stomach right now, and I've got no horse in this race.
They feel the same way in Nashville, the same way in Baton Rouge. It's a beautifully cruel game. Ferguson from in front of the Vanderbilt bench.
That is absurd.
Now both coaches are on yellow cards. Sean Hudson got one in the second half, appealing that the Vanderbilt goal should have been disallowed. The referee got that call right. Now Darren Ambrose into the book.
It would be the SEC if there wasn't a little bit of chaos and calamity, Mike.
Ferguson. Well, as long as we keep the gate shut, we don't want to see anyone sent off. Bolig. Outside from Pence, who dropped in. Stafford. Muscling through. Get by Witz. Ball stayed in. Corner, Vanderbilt.
Here we go,
Without a goal off the corner, in the SEC all year. They have had 8 previous chances on these corners, including 3 successive corners in the second half.
Let's go. Winners here.
Is there a championship goal to be had? Into the air. Bowling leading. And the whistle blows. It is a foul. It is a push. Bowling trying to create space. And of all the players, if it had been Ali Bowling.
And I think the referee just saw a push in the back on Ceballos. I think Ceballos went down a little easily there. I think that's a fair challenge.
Bowling missed 3 years due to knee injuries. Would she ever get back on the field? She has. She's been instrumental. Fair challenge or not, she was the target. Oliveira into the sideline. The 2 hottest teams in the SEC. 8 straight wins for Vanderbilt. 8 wins in 10 without defeat for LSU. Amsden flickers forward from Ferguson. Smash down Witz. Outside from Matula. Free kick Vandy.
A little bit too much pressure there from Jazz Ferguson on the back of Sydney Watts. But that's what you want to do as a center back when Sydney Watts travels into the midfield. Get pressure, deny her the ability to turn and run and play make. It's good decision making there from a static ball situation.
And Bolig will carry forward. The stymied slithers through. LSU take over. Amsden. Galligan and Watts been holding up play, trying to allow teammates to get from one end to the other on tired legs. Blanco Gonzalez in reverse. Cheeseman sends it ahead. Witz pursuing. Bolig brought it down, falls to Hermannsdottir. Hermannsdottir! It may have been going wide anyways. Widelko didn't want to find out.
Yeah, that's overly ambitious from Ida Hermannsdottir from distance. She's got it in her locker, but it's going to take something special to beat Widelko from this distance. She's got plenty of time to be able to adjust her feet. Collects that one well to keep possession. It was a vital touch from Ava Galligan. She doesn't even compete for the first ball. She knows I'm just here to win the scraps in the middle of the pitch. Little touch out to Hermannsdottir.
3 minutes remaining in the first overtime. Don't have a winner. We'll flip ends and continue for up to 10 minutes longer. This game ends when the next goal is scored. We haven't played a lot of golden goal soccer with video review either. Down into the corner. Major, who's been playing on a yellow card majority of the second half into now, continues to stand tall. Galligan working down the line. Better safe than sorry. Tapped out by Hannah McLaughlin. Quick toss in. Hermannsdottir. Comes to Teeter. Room to explore here. Watts navigating the back line with Oliveira. Ferguson cut off the service. Galligan.
Help it.
Back heel flick on. Witz Forces them to kick this out. Clock stops on subs in overtime. Akyirem, who equalized for Vanderbilt, replaces Stafford. Soraya Bailey back in for Witz. Ball drops down, Bailey. Bailey! Videlko able to lead back on the rebound. Nearly first touch since coming back in.
And that's the ball that the LSU Tigers want to fall kindly to. It is Soraya Bailey at the top of the box. Has the ability to beat players off the dribble, but opts to go from distance there. Vanderbilt have plenty of bodies back behind the ball.
Final minute of the first overtime period. This game of hacky sack is wild. And ends with a foul.
This is about the same distance that we saw LSU score from against Mississippi State earlier in this tournament.
The 3-1 semifinal win. Ferguson lobs it ahead.
You have to wonder why Stebbing didn't hit that and allow Giles Ferguson to get higher up the pitch.
Cheeseman caught by Videlko. Stop the clock, injured player, it's Galligan. The LSU players are saying she got shoved from behind. And it is inside the penalty area.
And it's a last-ditch effort from Sid Cheeseman. Videlko does a good job to navigate traffic. Nothing in it, ultimately. It's a lofted service. Galligan just backing up into, it looks like McLaughlin. Nothing in it.
Galligan rubbing the back of her head. A look at the LSU faithful assembled. As we appear poised to head to a second overtime period. I feel like we already had the 2 minutes to change ends, but that's exactly what we'll get. Galligan out, Smith on. Clock starts.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Double overtime.
As you see at the end of the first overtime period, the score remains Vanderbilt 1, LSU 1. After a 2-minute break, we'll have another 10-minute overtime period, sudden victory.
You're staring at exhaustion. You're staring at the blood, sweat, and tears of a 10-game regular season, a 4th game in 8 days for LSU. Vanderbilt, the bye, but 3 arduous games of their own and 100 minutes of effort exerted. It's 1-1. Golden goal remains for up to 10 more minutes, and then penalties loom. Thursday night, 9 Eastern, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to this amazing final. The SEC Women's Soccer Tournament semifinals and championship game. You'll get never-before-seen footage and sound from players and coaches. Real behind-the-scenes look right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. You can see the microphone hanging over the Vanderbilt huddle. And meanwhile, on the other end, LSU, a 5 seed, trying to accomplish an extreme rarity. How's it feeling right now?
Well, Sean Hudson certainly just trying to will her team to empty the tank here for these last 10 minutes, because they certainly were the aggressor in that first overtime period. Vanderbilt really hasn't looked threatening, terribly threatening at all, not only in that overtime, but all match. Their best opportunity came from a set piece, which is quite unexpected for this Vanderbilt Commodores team.
By the way, should we get there, Vanderbilt's taken one penalty all season. It was Courtney Jones. She made it and faced one penalty all season. They didn't stop it. LSU's taken 5 spot kicks, all by Ida Hermansdottir. She's made 4 of 5. And LSU goalkeepers have seen 2 and stopped none. In the pro game, goalkeepers will go through mountains of footage trying to get an edge. In the college game, it really is the unknown. Will we get that far? Double overtime. Next goal wins here in Pensacola. Akyirem for Vanderbilt leads for bowling. With LSU. Smith remains in up front. Galligan came out for taking a knock in the first overtime period.
Vanderbilt opting to make a change on their back line, putting Margot Matula in that center back position. A bit more athleticism and pace than Hannah McLaughlin.
Teeter for Sydney Watts. A slide from Ferguson.
If LSU end up winning this game, my player of the match has got to be Jess Ferguson. She's completely neutralized the impact of one of the best goal scorers in this conference in Sydney Watts.
One of the best goal scorers in the country, 14, a pair in the semi. But like so many strikers, you can be silent almost the whole game, but she could have the last kick and the last laugh. Options percolating. It was Watts targeted. Comfortable from LSU to clear. By the way, in the pro game, you have to be on the field prior to the end of the game to be involved in penalties. That's not the case in college. You simply have to be an available player on the roster. Something to keep in mind as well.
Sounds like I missed my shot.
Pence. She put the exclamation point on this tremendous freshman year. Watts, bodied up by Olivera. Giving straight up the gut. Hermansdottir drops. Ceballos.
Good patience and link play there from LSU allows them to establish their attack from deeper in the pitch.
Set pieces so promising for LSU. High arcing into the wind. Deflection. Bailey knocks it back. It's a whistle against the Tigers. Ends the threat.
Set pieces in this second overtime, Mike, is becoming increasingly more and more difficult to find a window of space. Each opponent playing with an abundance of caution, getting density numbers back behind the ball, and that decreases the amount of space that these attacking players have to operate in.
Ferguson ran it all the way back. Clock stops on subs with 4:47 to go. Two Tigers join the fray.
In the game for LSU.
For Gabbi Blanco Gonzalez.
And number 11, McKenna Dominguez.
Kenneth Dominguez returns.
And number 9, Smith.
On for Smith. Launched. Took a short hop. Flick on header. Olivere. Short-handed.
And Mike, you know I'm not one for, it's all about mentality and grit. I like to break down the tactics and talk about trends, but right now, the last 5 minutes of your conference season, it is all about determination, grit, winning your individual battle, and executing your role and responsibility within the team.
Jones, that got blocked. Bit of grip from LSU. That was Herman's daughter blocking service a second time. Grinding through the challenge, across to Akyirem. Spins away from Major. Akyirem! Skiving. Equalizer is looking for that golden goal.
Well done from Akyirem to be able to bring this one down. Chestic gets it down to herself, creates a window in a central position around Major. But Skiving positionally 1 yard off her line. That gives her plenty of time to be able to shuffle across and claim possession.
Let's go.
Galligan returns. He's left the field twice alongside the athletic trainers. She has put so much into this game.
And certainly Sean Hudson foresees this one going to Penn's. Less than 3 minutes left. You want to get your bankers off the field, get them a blow, to be able to get their heart rate back down, because that's one of the hardest things to contend with in penalty kick situations is a high heart rate. Think of it like when you're on the treadmill and your heart rate goes up, you're breathing really heavy. You can't do simple math. I can at least. You want to make sure that that heart rate comes back down. You can quiet some of the nerves, the anxiety, step up and execute.
Tough to do from zone 5. Akyirem. The slide from Ferguson, but that leaves LSU a bit exposed. Watts. Cross field. Teeter. Bowling. Akyirem. LSU didn't come out of that low block. Wiggles back out to Freeman. Galligan. Header back upfield. Jones She can. Shielded off well by Ceballos. Bowling. Under a minute and a half to play. Next goal's the winner, Jones. And they get forward into the box. There it is. Caught by Skiving. She's got the ball in her hands. She may have LSU's fate in her hands in a minute.
1 minute.
If we don't have a winner, we'll do it from the penalty spot. 5 rounds. A game of roulette for the trophy. Galligan. It's a free kick. If you're LSU, you cannot get countered on. Cannot. But this could be it.
They've got the pieces to do it, Mike. They put Sid Cheeseman, one of the best deliverers of their set pieces, on the ball, allowing their center backs to get high up. Their aerial targets are in the game. Everything's on the line. Last moment, last opportunity for the Tigers.
Ball forward from Cheeseman. Header down Ferguson. Would you believe it? Widelko's got it. The final 10 seconds begin to tick away. For the first time since LSU won the championship in 2018, we are going to penalties for the SEC championship game.
And that's the end of overtime. Score remains Vanderbilt 1, LSU 1.
All week you took penalties preparing for this. Now you have to put an order together. The 5 players you most trust with a trophy on the line to take one single solitary kick. They'll take a break. They'll try and get their heart rate down. We will too. It's palpitating action in Pensacola. LSU the early goal, Vandy the equalizer. We went 110. We go to the spot after this. The 2025 SEC Soccer Championship is headed to penalties. The first time since 2018. 1-1 after 110. Mike Watts, Jill Lloyd, and our great SEC Network crew. An LSU team 10 unbeaten. A Commodores team who ripped off 8 straight wins. This whole game was a coin flip. Who shoots first? Vandy won that toss, and they'll kick first. Here's how we got here. The opening goal came way back in the 26th minute. Gabbi Ceballos from Ida Herman's daughter.
Well, Mike, we do need a coin to know that their best opportunities were going to be on set pieces. It's Gabbi Ceballos with a great run, rises above 3 Vanderbilt players, converts the 12th set piece of 26 for LSU in conference play. But we didn't see this one coming. It was Skeving off her line, collides with Jazz Ferguson. Ball falls generously to Akyirem in a goal-scoring position. Great focus and technique to put that one over the line and find the equalizer from a set piece for Vanderbilt.
If you featured on the active roster for this game, you're allowed to take a kick. Best of 5, sudden victory if we don't have a winner after that. I know your heart's in your throat right now, Jill, as a observer. As a goalkeeper, how does it feel right now?
Well, both of these goalkeepers will feel immensely confident going into these penalties. Widelko has so much experience in these types of situations. She's come up big time and time again. Last year against Florida State, but Skeving, she has earned herself the starting position for this LSU team. They've gone back and forth all season long. Because of her great run of form, she is why the LSU Tigers have an opportunity to win this game from penalty spots.
Skeving has started about half the games this year. She and Sophie Kevorkian have gone back and forth. LSU, all 5 of their kicks by Ida Herman's daughter over the course of the season. She's made 4. Courtney Jones, the only player to take for Vanderbilt, and wouldn't you know it, she wants to go first. What do you think of Vanderbilt asking to go first after winning the toss?
Well, that's what you want to do. You want to go first. You want to make the first kick and put pressure on your opponent. And if it falls to the last one, that's the most immense pressure that you can feel, fifth taker, when you have to make it.
Courtney Jones, our kind of kid. That's how Darren Ambrose described her as a freshman. A junior now. Instant respect from the moment she arrived. An Orlando native who scored 6 goals over the course of this campaign. She scored the special goals. Did she score from 12 yards out? Put Vanderbilt in a positive position to start the shootout. Giving the Icelandic international awaits.
First taker for Vanderbilt, number 24, Courtney Jones.
Jones to start the shootout for the Commodores against Skiving. Jones delivers an emphatic opener for Vanderbilt.
Jones nearly broke the net with that hit. That was a ton of pace. Gets Skeving going the wrong way and gives Vanderbilt a little confidence going into this penalty taker.
Sydney Cheeseman maybe scored the best goal of the year against Auburn. As technical and outside back as you'll find. Cheeseman scores! Widelko got a piece, but not enough to steer that laser beam wide.
Short little run up here for Sid Cheeseman, and she just rolls this one into the back of the net. Has a little deception there. Now the pressure's back on Vanderbilt.
Hannah McLaughlin, you could argue she's been the best center back in the Southeastern Conference the last few years. A 39-goal senior year at Denmark High School, from a midfielder to the best center back in the SEC. The second shooter for Vanderbilt. McLaughlin denied by Skiving.
And you could see the uncertainty in her eyes when she stepped up there, Mike. She didn't even look at Skeving. She was looking at one thing, the ball. To me, as a goalkeeper, I know I've put doubt in your mind. Skeving reads that one perfectly, dives over the floor. Timing is perfect. And now Ida Hermansdottir from the spot. Her favorite side is her right side, and certainly Widelko would know that.
Her mom, international for Iceland. Dad, 5 EPL teams in England over a 15-year professional career. When she's on the ball, good things happen. Has a chance to consolidate the advantage for LSU in the second round. Hermansdottir goes against the grain. LSU ahead through 2 rounds.
Hermansdottir steps up, solid perfection, nerveless from Ida Hermansdottir. Don't ever doubt her.
Skiving put Vanderbilt up against the ropes. Vivian Akyirem equalized in the 70th minute. A senior from Ghana, thousands of miles from home, scored a penalty against Florida State in the NCAA tournament last year. Akyirem, ice water in her veins. What a massive kick for Vandy.
That was smooth, serene, and certain. Cool-headed perfection from Akyirem from the spot. No chance, no goalkeeper saving that.
Let's go, guys. We got this. Come on. Let's go. That was awesome.
The confidence,
Here we go. Let's go.
the belief still in Vanderbilt. Ava Amsden from Colorado Springs. Her ability to bring others into the game, a critical part of her role in midfield. 2 goals last year. Both of them were penalties. Has not scored this season.
Hold on. You cannot do that. Oh,
Widelko can bounce, but Widelko can't speak. Amsden scores! 3 rounds complete. And Vanderbilt is nearing the danger zone now.
Nothing phases her, Mike. Steps up, big deep breath in, and of course, easy money in the back of the net for Ava Amston. She was fantastic tonight in this tournament.
Reagan Pence, 2 goals, 6 assists over the course of her freshman season from just outside Cleveland. An All-American out of Walsh Jesuit High School. Known for acceleration in wide areas. Can she keep Vandy in the fight? Pence off the crossbar! And LSU are on the verge of their second SEC crown.
You got it, Woo! You're good. And Pence steps up, goes across her body, goes for all pace, power, and cranks it off of the crossbar. Scheving guesses the right way. And now the door is open for this LSU team to take home the championship.
This is it. Gadea Blanco Gonzalez. Just a few days ago, Sean Hudson said she's found her confidence at the right time. Formed in the Barcelona Academy.
Here we go!
2 goals on the season. Can secure the championship for LSU. With Delco, keep Vandy alive. The save! With Delco! Vandy survived for at least a moment longer. Turning away Gadea Blanco Gonzalez.
And this is what big-time players do in big-time situations. Widelko keeping the SEC championship hopes alive for Vanderbilt. Reads it so well. Blanco Gonzalez puts it a little bit too close to Widelko off the ground.
You could say you should put your best first or last. Sydney Watts scored 14 goals, all in the run of play this year. Score or it's over. Watts! Watts! Wow! Scheving nearly ended it.
It's no messing about. This was absolutely ruthless from Sydney Watts. Opens up the hit, goes back across. Little deception disguise. Scheving doesn't fall for it, but places it perfectly in the side of the net.
Morgan Witt said it's the energy of it all. Tournaments are a showcase. We're glad we could provide entertainment. She is about to provide a championship if she can convert this one final kick. The graduate student transfer, winner of the WAC a year ago at Cal Baptist, has the SEC championship on her right foot. Morgan Witz off the post and save out. Widelko and Vanderbilt send it to sudden victory. Unreal.
You're kidding me, Mike. I have not seen anything quite like this in an SEC tournament. Widelko, another fantastic save, just does enough to push it onto the post, then gets the rebounds. And somehow, some way, after missing 2 pens, Vanderbilt is still in it.
What a moment for Widelko. Here's Allie Bolig. Missed 3 successive seasons, doesn't miss that kick. For the first time, Vandy has put LSU on the verge. Vanderbilt is 1 kick away. McKenna Dominguez missed the end of the regular season away on international duty with El Salvador. Returns for the tournament after a 4-year run at North Carolina. She has never scored a collegiate goal. A save from Widelko earns Vanderbilt the SEC championship for the 2nd time in 6 years. It's all down to this. Dominguez scores! Widelko overran it into the 7th round.
And Widelko adds a lot of movement to her set shape, her set position before the shot, just to off-put the attackers and give them something they haven't quite seen yet. Ooh, Dominguez takes a deep sigh of relief there.
It took about half a season for Grace Freeman to really understand the Vanderbilt style coming in from Ole Miss. But what a vital piece she's been down the stretch. Freeman to try and push Vanderbilt back ahead in the shootout. Freeman sends Skiving the wrong way. And the door is open again for Vanderbilt.
Biggest opportunity for Freeman since she's come to Vanderbilt. Minimum fuss type of penalty. Vanderbilt's starting to find a groove in this shootout.
Kelsey Major may have been as good as any player on the field in this game. Played the second half on a yellow card and silenced so much of the wide play that Vanderbilt is known for. Sarah Widelko, another chance. Put her hands on this ball and win the trophy. Major puts it in. It was spotty to start, and now these penalties have been excellent. 5-5, round 8 coming up.
Something I learned tonight about Kelsey Major is she always comes good. She always comes good. Easy finish in the end, just opens up the hit and glides that one past Widelko.
Macy Teeter, don't break my heart a second time, Darren Ambrose told her when she entered the portal out of North Carolina. Macy Teeter steps up and drills a penalty with so much pressure. 6-5. Third straight kick that LSU must convert.
That was probably the best penalty of this entire shootout. Steps up, hits it with a ton of pace, top bins. Scrapes the top of the net.
Gabbi Ceballos will take it. Notably, Galligan did not come out with the rest of the group. You're at the players that didn't think they'd take one now. Ceballos scored the opener. Can she keep the game alive? Ceballos! Superb, just superb. And think back to 2009. South Carolina ousted LSU in that final 8-7 in penalties.
Yeah, Ceballos steps up convincingly, dispatches that penalty when all the pressure is on this LSU Tigers team.
Margot Matula, known for the non-glamorous moments. The junior from Houston with 2 goals in her 3-year collegiate career, both at Texas A&M. Matula for Vanderbilt. Turns Skiving to stone.
Skiving's head is spinning right now. Not sure, clueless as to which direction these Vanderbilt players are going to go. It's a short run-up, a straight approach. You would imagine that would be across the body there.
Let's go!
But Matula opens up.
Next for LSU, number 9.
Widelko for the 4th consecutive kick can end it. Amy Smith, the sophomore striker for LSU. Smith! It's contagious.
The shootout has gone much akin to how the regulation and extra time went. Back and forth, back and forth. LSU out to a lead. Vanderbilt scraping it away back into the game, and now it's just been even back and forth these last 4 kicks.
8 straight makes. Mary Beth McLaughlin, all freshman a year ago. She feared that being the younger sister of Hannah, she might not be able to make her own way. She's done that. It's McLaughlin. McLaughlin sneaks it underneath Skiving. Darren Ambrose said she made it her identity. Eventually, she'll inherit everything else from Hannah in this program, too.
And it doesn't have a lot of pace on it, but it doesn't need to because she perfectly places it, bending it away from Skiving, past the goalkeeper. just pockets it in the back of the net.
9 straight makes. And again, all the pressure on the LSU taker. Jasmine Ferguson, a tremendous season for LSU. The center back strides. Ferguson denied! Wadelko and Vanderbilt, SEC champions! Wadelko made the save to extend the shootout and makes the save to end it. Darren Ambrose and Vanderbilt, their 4th SEC championship, and the 2nd in Ambrose's 11 years at the helm.
And it's Wadelko again, against all odds, backs against the wall, had to make 2 big-time saves to force it into extra penalties, and it was always going to be Wadelko. We talked about her abilities from penalties. They rely on her yet again for an SEC title.
They'll lift the trophy. You can see it on the ESPN app in a moment. And did they just secure a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament as well? Sean Hudson and LSU come up so tantalizingly short. VMI and Missouri men's basketball is next. It's been an amazing 8 days for Jill Lloyd and Alex Perlman, Marion Crowder, and our entire crew throughout the week. Mike Watts saying Vanderbilt are the 2025 SEC soccer.